been exactly between 6-7 weeks since we've made a video about patch notes. Um, and today we have fresh June patch notes. So today is June 20, the 22nd of 2022, and we have patch notes. Not as much as last time. May 10, we got a lot. I just had to double check if this was the last balance. If I recall correctly, also the second time they have done balance changes to Mortal Judgement mainly, at least since Mortal Judgement is out. So anyway, let's go into this month's patch notes. Let's just quickly look at bug fixes. So no more developer mode for anyone. I had so many people asking me, why is your cards plain? Everyone's cards are plain. I think a week ago they did some changes and it kind of affected everyone's card display. Not on a collection, but during the game. Not a big deal, rather that than introducing new bugs right before the weekend rank. Then they have some other bug fixes. See if I see anything. I think false going second. Yeah, I think I've noticed that, now on the bottom left corner of the screen on your mulligan stages, it shows if you are first or second. And I really don't trust that, because I think it's usually wrong, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, looks like it was happening to some people. And some other things. Anyway, I'm gonna link this on the article or the description of the video below. Let's go into balance changes. So one thing I've noticed, and I know that the Unchained team said that they're gonna be less heavy with the changes. It's one thing they used to do is every time they will bring the balance hammer, usually will be quite damaging. So they're being more conscientious of making substantial changes that damages the card value. And I think it's going to be the same thing with this one. I'm actually showing the wrong cards. Let's go to the first one. So for the buffs, we have Cadence of Infinite Sands. So basically the only changes here, it's going to be a 9, instead of 9 mana, it's going to be 8 mana. The card is extremely powerful if you are able to play the ability, and that's usually the challenge. I personally do not like cards with ability only. To make a card with ability strong, usually the card has to have Protected, or Wards, or Roar, but ability on its own, it means that you need this card to survive. And it's such a heavy card, so 8 mana 9/9. If your opponent can deal with this, you just wasted the 8 mana turn. And we know that nowadays games don't usually last until turn 8. Anyway, I could see this working on maybe a death deck that has cards that can draw cards to the void, put cards on a void, and then you're able to summon this very early on, where your opponent cannot react. But those are very niche, very random decks. So yeah, it's a slight buff. They are now trying to put an effort explaining why. So they're basically trying to make this card a bit more playable for control decks. Next one, Odessa. Again, this was a card introduced in the core set refresh. I'm not sure if this card has been buffed or nerfed, but now they've decided to buff it slightly. So it's going to be a 4 mana 3/5 instead of just 2 attack. And I imagine this, I don't imagine, they actually say it is to try and combat aggro combo decks. And Control Light is actually quite viable now. Quite a tricky yet fun and reliable deck, and I see this card easily fit there. I mean, 4 mana for 3/5 stats is quite reasonable. Yeah, if you are able to play these cards, it will definitely affect your opponent's turn. Very nice. Next one, Shield Maiden Scout. Now I don't know anything about this card. I don't think I've ever seen playing. It's not a Viking, and war has been affected since at least since the last balance update. You don't see war playing too much. The only viable war right now is Relic War, which can be very strong. So the change here, I think it's basically I thought it was a buff. Oh yeah, it's giving frontline. So yeah, I guess the idea here is if your opponent doesn't have any creatures, at least you have frontline to protect you. But for 5 mana, you have yeah, don't have much to say about this. I think so far the best buff will be Odessa, because I can see this card being played. Last buff, the Flame Touch Paladin. I've not seen this card being played. So instead of being a 4 mana 4/4, it's going to be a 4 mana 3/5. Better stats for 4 mana again. And the ability basically changes from target the character, if it's an enemy, attack it, otherwise heal it for 4 to heal it, heal it for 3 to heal it for 4. So I guess it's a way of war healing, and it can heal itself. It attacks successfully because you get to choose. I mean, you can attack the face. For 4 mana, I think there could be a place in war for this type of cards. Not so much for the Olympian bids. So maybe we'll see this card being played. I can see this card being played in a more control war, which exists with the Carnage Sweeps and Soul Survivors. We've not seen being played. Now let's bring the Nerf Hammer, and this one, oh boy, Thester. I've seen this card being played. It can be quite strong, so much so that he was banned from being played. I think probably the only light card being banned from being played on a Goose Stakes Week 2 tournaments. Because again, it's quite powerful. See what they say about this. Yeah, just trying to make it a little less strong by bringing it down to 1 health instead of 2. So a bit easier to kill, but yeah, still a powerful card. I think it's a reasonable change. I've seen this card being played. It can get very strong, but the way Light has been playing more nowadays is more especially, I found it especially interesting the way that I've seen them playing against me, trying with Dralamar decks. A lot of protected, even a 2 mana give +4 health or something like that, which you don't really see play. So yeah, aggressive light decks go a lot more for small protected creatures. So this one lacks that, and it's probably why you've not seen this being played a lot. Still powerful, especially with the Echo. If they would have taken the Echo. Okay, next one, Pack Stalk, the only 0 mana cost cards brought recently, and they changed their mind. It's going to be a 1 mana card now. I think we've seen this card being played quite a bit in conjunction with Wildfire, but nature is not very strong at the moment. It's probably second to last in terms of win ratio, just above War. Maybe War is better now with the Relic, but I think nature is probably the weakest format right now. Next one, Deception, and oh boy, I'm happy to see Deception finally getting some adjustments, because you've seen these cards being played all the freaking time. So the only change here is it's going to be 1 health. So bring it down a notch. It doesn't affect the Echo because the Echo is a 1/1. So okay, fair enough. I mean, a two mana 2/2 steal. Okay. Next one. An Announced Arrival. So the only change here really is the fact that he will deal 1 damage to all creatures. So he can affect your creatures, especially the one you summon. And I think that's fair, because this card felt really strong. And that's probably why you've seen it playing. 4 mana. You get the 4 mana creature, which you get to choose. So you have 3 options you get to choose. You can be very lucky. You can get some really nice ones, even with spell boosts. And then you deal 1 damage on top of that. This card becomes better than any 4 mana creature, unless it has a specific purpose for your deck. So still good. I think it's fair, dealing 1 damage to everyone. If you're playing control, then that should be fine. And then finally, we're seeing this card being nerfed. Of all the cards I've had a chance to catch up this month, as I've been a bit behind the meta, this one it was bluntly clear to me that it was overpowered. 1 mana, just the value of this card was crazy. 1 mana, 1/1, hidden for 1 turn, and give +2 strength to another guild creature. I said this card needs to be like give +2, never +3. And that's exactly what they did. +2. This was a Dark Knives on steroids. It's too much, too great of a value for this card. Dark Knives it's a 1 mana, gives +3 to any creature. Fine, it's a spell, you need a creature on the board, it's so strong. But this is give +3 to guild creatures, which usually there's a lot of really good guild creatures on Deception. And it's a 1/1 creature. It was too much value for a 1 mana card. Okay, so last we have changes. So they're not necessarily buffs or nerfs, just some changes. Again, a card I've not seen being played. The only change here is gonna be a 1 mana 1/3, which is quite good. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but War doesn't have very good 1 mana Viking creatures with that amount of health. So, and they say give War a chance. Quality 1 drops to enable aggro War. And this card is definitely going to enable some aggro War. So yeah, 1 mana 1/3, still the same effect. After this creature takes damage, a random friendly creature gains +1 strength. I think this card will be quite interesting in aggro decks with Vikings. So yeah, it's a good card. And another, and I think the third most annoying card in Deception, getting affected as well. So again, it's not a buff or a nerf. They clearly state that. So it's gonna be, forget stealing 1 strength. It's not gonna happen anymore. It's actually gonna be, this creature gains 1 strength. No. After you summon a creature from another domain, this creature gains deadly for 1 turn. It kind of feels like a nerf. But at least you just need to summon, not play. Which means that if you play any of the other cards where you specifically summon war cards, something that Deception have now, or any non-guild card, then it will work. Not sure if it works to non-domain cards. Technically it's not a domain, so I guess it doesn't work. If it had hidden, interesting. I feel like this could be a nerf, a straight nerf. We might not see this card being played as much now. And the last one, and not the least, Undertow Rover. So instead of just giving protected to a random other Atlantean, actually will give to one that does not have protected. A bit like the War Relic, that gives protected to one of your strongest creatures without protected, so it doesn't buff the same one. Now, I have seen some deck lists out there, some Magic deck lists trying to play Atlanteans, because you might not recall this, but a few months ago, maybe a year ago, Hidden Rush was a thing. Still kind of is, but it was mainly done with Atlanteans. But with the core set refresh, they changed a lot of Atlanteans. So now you only see Atlanteans, the strongest ones on Magic, in Magic, and this card is neutral, so it means you can play it. So our turn 3, where you have the give war to all your other Atlanteans, and then give protected. I will be interested to try a Magic deck with Atlanteans. Magic is the strongest format right now. You have control Magic. So first Tralamar, control Magic, aggro Magic, and maybe an Atlantean Magic. It's quite good. Anyway, this will do for this video. I hope you liked it. Oh, one last thing, which I'm really not gonna cover because I don't know much about it yet, but I'm gonna link below. There's also more details about the gods offering of the gods token, which the team has said, this was released yesterday, the team has said this is an answer to staking. So instead of you having a process where you can stake your gods and get a percentage or whatever from it, there's a whole article where I explain exactly how this is going to work. And I think this is probably how they explain how they're going to hand over the 1 million gods they announced they're going to hand over to players. So very, very briefly, from what I've seen so far, so they're going to cover people they've been playing since December last year to very recently. This is where the teaser of the snapshot has been taken. So that's 33% of all the gods they have available. So that's going to be over 300,000 gods. And then the remaining is going to be until the end of the program. And basically they're going to be taking snapshots every week, and depending on the eligibility, which you can read below, you're going to get a part of those gods every week. So they'll take a snapshot, calculate how many gods they owe you, and that's the staking. That's basically their temporary program of staking. So you need to have gods on your on your wallet. Needs to be linked, and then the criteria is you play, or you mint, or you purchase, or you buy a card in the secondary market. Okay, and the calculation, it's all explained here. I'm not going to get into my details, but I would like you guys to know that this is also going on. And since we are on that topic, to make sure you guys are not missing out, let me just get here, because I think a lot of people don't know exactly what's going on with the game. Sometimes information is a bit spread out and you don't really know what's going on. Just a second. Just remembered I should probably talk about this as well. Don't forget that we also have, for the first time, which has been going on since the beginning of this month as well, we have the Community Clash. It's the first time that the Gods Unchained is actually sponsoring tournaments within the community, and the prize pool is really good. It's free to enter. The community is responsible for each week's tournaments, and each week you can get this, depending on your rank, on your placements. So every week, very good rewards. All of these packs are Mortal Judgment, which is great if you want to up your collection. And it's free. The rules change. It's up to the community. You might have meta decks, you might have starter decks. This week has been mainly starter decks, so make sure to check this out if you want to be part of free tournaments. I mean, it's free. It's an addition to the weekend ranked, where you already can get some gods and some packs. So yeah, okay, this will finally do for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to catch me live on Twitch. I'm gonna be there soon, and usually every day, Tuesday to Saturday. Just play games, ask me anything, practice for tournaments, and then live weekend rank. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.